Alright guys, so in today's video, and by the way, I haven't posted in few weeks, so I'm just back on being more consistent in terms of creating content on this YouTube channel. So what I wanted to actually talk in this short video is that how did I start my journey in the SMMA industry, right? So I believe it was 2017, that was the early years, and so I stumbled across here in my garage ads on Tai Lopez video. And I think it's funny, actually, it was the first or earliest time that it came on my feed. Maybe it was like actually 2015 or a bit earlier than that. So I remember seeing that ad, right? What is this SMMA industry? And it was pretty interesting to me at the time. And then I came across Iman Gadz's content on YouTube. I remember like watching all this video content in my free time. And I was really, really interested. So I was interested in the marketing space. I was interested to learn and essentially the freedom that they got out of it. And so it was, I believe it was 2017 to 2018 where I came up with my agency name. So, and I thought it was going to be easy because back in the day, I thought like, oh, okay, so you just brand it and put up a logo, and then just you're gonna magically get clients online. And that wasn't the case at all, right? So I went months without, having any clients. And I remember one of my friend back in the self-development space that I used to be part of, where we used to talk about, dating and stuff like that. One of the guys there, so he mentioned to me, um, you know, he works at this gym, and I told him, oh, do you guys do social media content? I run this agency. So that they became my first client. So I just went in, I met them. I only sell them on like $300, $30, $330 for a small video, right, on social media. And that became my first client, right? And it's a great feeling once you make that first sale. It feels amazing, right? But again, I was like constantly stuck because I didn't know how to get my next client and things like that. So I was like in that low ticket space, and I was kind of like stuck there for a while, right? And I remember one of my biggest client was like maybe 1800. I was able to close for a video content professionally done. Um, so I heard that my friend who was a DP, like a director of photography, so we went on a basically on a road trip, and they sorted out the accommodation. So we just created content there, right? So it was pretty interesting. And at that moment, actually, I felt the success. I felt like, oh, I'm getting somewhere. And back then, I actually had a full-time job as well. So I was working within retail store for um, video production, equipments and stuff. So I felt like, oh, this is my dream has come true, right? Because I used to see the red camera on there. Used to see all this production gear, even though I may not be necessarily the best at the reselling job because there were so many equipments. You could get overwhelmed learning about each equipment and stuff like that. That was my early years, and that's where I actually became interested in to become better marketer, right? And so after consuming obviously Mangadi's content, I used to consistently watch these people, and I wanted to become like them. But what happens is that I don't really feel like I have accomplished their level of success, right? So when I moved to Adelaide 4 years ago, or almost like 5 years now, so I was doing my studies and stuff, and it wasn't until maybe 2 or 3 years ago where I thought, okay, I'm gonna go seriously all in. I want to become a full-time video agency owner, and I did that. So I took the risk, and I started getting these high ticket clients. So now the issue of high ticket was no longer an issue. So I was able to charge 2 grand. I was able to charge 3 grand. I was able to charge 5 grand um, at the most. And but then again, I had an issue of retaining customers. So and since I was offering content, it was kind of difficult to retain customer, and local clients were challenging as well because a lot of the time you might watch all these YouTube videos from online gurus, and they don't really tell you. They just focus on how you can get your clients, and they don't really teach you as much on how to retain them, how to get the fulfillment, things like that, right? So you could just, let's say, sign up a client for 2 grand. Maybe let's say you sign them up on a retainer and it's a media buying client, but you don't really know how to run ads in that industry, then it's best to reach out to a media buyer who's already done that, right? Get coaching from him or essentially learn or hire them as a white label, right? That's one of the greatest way you can go about it. A lot of the time, something that I've been doing was I was I wanted to learn, right? So I was like doing media buying, I was doing video editing, I was doing the shooting, and it was almost like, oh, you feel burned out, right? So, and then it came to a point that I was actually started to actually delegate them. So found a remote editor, so I sent some of the work to him. Then I noticed, okay, so how can I create more leverage, right? So then, getting coaching from a media buying coach, then having, let's say, a VA to send out, DMs, things like that, right? So, and what my overall thought process is around the SMMA business is it's a great model to start. But one thing I noticed, it's didn't really or hasn't really given me that um, full financial freedom that I'm actually pursuing, right? What I mean by that. So, to me, getting freedom is the financial freedom, the time freedom, and the location freedom, as Imam Gadzi mentioned it, right? And let's say I decided to travel to Dubai for 3 months, right? If I'd made a decision to do that, will my business be operating um, in a great place? Probably not, because I haven't really set the infrastructure or the foundation to be able to operate that way, right? And another thing with content is that a lot of it is like location dependent. And when, let's say, I sign up a client, which I did, interstate and stuff like that, the challenge is that, okay, so we have to hire shooters in their city, which will cut into our margins, right? So in order to really stay profitable within the agency space, there is like almost like the sweet cap that you experience, and that's the sweet spot within the agency space. I hope you got some value out of this content. I just thought I'd share my insight on this, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video.